Your doctor has very likely handed you a single page of advice about high blood pressure, and on that page there is almost always a list of pills, a line about less salt, and a small note to walk more. But hidden in the long list of things that can help, your doctor may not have named a humble herb already sitting in your kitchen. The herb in question is garlic, and it has been quietly studied for decades. Not the kind of study that makes a loud headline once and disappears. The kind of study that researchers keep returning to because the results keep showing up. And right now, that little clove of garlic is sitting on your counter tonight, waiting to help you. Before we go any further, I would like to ask you one small favor. Please subscribe to this channel so the next video reaches you the moment it goes up. The way these platforms work, gentle health videos made for older adults tend to get quietly buried for anyone who is not subscribed, and I do not want that to happen to you. It takes a single moment, it costs nothing, and it makes sure I do not disappear from your feed right when I am finishing next week's video about the 5 small morning mistakes that quietly push your pressure up. Please take care of this small step now while we are here together. Today I want to walk you through 7 kitchen herbs that decades of research have shown can help bring your blood pressure down. I will keep the words simple. No scary jargon, no studies you cannot pronounce, no fake names from me to keep things interesting. Just 7 herbs, what each one does, why it works, a short picture to make it real, and one small action you can try today. Along the way, I will pause every few minutes and ask you to do something for me in the comments, because your answers in the comments are how this little community of older adults watching each other grows. Use this information only as a starting point for a real conversation with your own doctor before you change anything that matters, especially if pills are already part of your morning. Number 1 on our list today is garlic. Yes, the same garlic your mother or grandmother crushed into a pot of soup on a quiet Sunday afternoon. Garlic is one of the most studied plants of our whole lifetime when it comes to blood pressure, and for very good reason that I want to explain slowly. Garlic contains a natural compound that scientists call allicin, and allicin encourages the ring of muscle around your blood vessels to relax, so blood moves through with less force behind it. Think of it as gentle persuasion on a long day, not a hard shove from behind your heart. As we grow older, our blood vessels stiffen a little with each passing year, the way a long garden hose left across too many summers gets firm and kinked. Garlic helps them soften again, slightly, day after day, so the flow inside is gentler on the walls. Your heart does not have to push as hard to keep the garden alive and growing. Picture this. Imagine someone in their late 60s who was already on one blood pressure pill, but whose readings stayed a touch high. They were tired of hearing about another pill being added to the morning tray. They spoke with their own doctor, then began eating 2 small fresh cloves of crushed garlic with their lunch each day. By the 3rd week, the top number on their home monitor had moved down by a few points. The bottom number moved too. They felt a little proud of themselves, and that pride is half the medicine when you are older. The simple thing you can try today is this. Take 1 fresh clove of garlic. Press it gently with the flat of a knife until it cracks, then leave it sitting on your counter for about 10 minutes before you swallow it. That waiting on the counter lets the good compound fully form inside the clove. Then take the clove with a tall glass of water at your evening meal, the one that gives your stomach time to settle into the night. If raw garlic is too strong for your stomach, cook it lightly into a soup that is taken off the heat early, or stir it into a sauce that simmers at the very end. The heat will reduce some of its strength, but not all of it. Try this for 3 weeks in a row and write down your morning reading each day in a small notebook so the change has a chance to speak for itself on paper. Number 2 on our countdown is hibiscus, the bright crimson flower that turns a glass of water into a deep ruby red. You may have seen hibiscus tea in a small shop window at the grocery, or heard a friend call it red tea or sour tea. But most older adults do not know that hibiscus has been studied more than almost any other gentle plant for the way it helps your numbers come down. Let me walk you through what the research has shown, in plain language you can use right at your own kitchen table this week. Hibiscus works in 2 calm ways at once. First, it behaves a little like a mild water pill, helping your body let go of extra salt and fluid through your kidneys in a soft, steady way. Second, it helps the inner lining of your vessels stay relaxed through the day, the way you might stay relaxed in a long, warm bath. Picture the inside of your vessel as a small river path that has narrowed over the years. Hibiscus helps that path open up a little again. Not a flood, not a rush, just a softer flow. That softer flow means lower top numbers, and lower top numbers mean your heart does not have to lift the water as high each morning. Picture this. Imagine someone whose top number had been creeping up into the 150s over the last 2 years. Their doctor was watching, but was not yet worried enough to add another pill to the morning routine. They began drinking 2 cups of cooled hibiscus tea each morning in place of their usual 2nd cup of coffee. By the end of the 1st month, the morning home reading sat a few points lower than before. That person felt a little more like the version of themselves they remembered from a few years back, the one who could walk up the front stairs without holding the railing quite so tight. The simple thing you can try today is this. Brew 1 hibiscus tea bag in a cup of hot water and let it cool for a few minutes so the heat does not bother your stomach at all. Add a thin slice of lemon if you like a little brightness to balance the tartness of the flower. Sip it slowly in place of your afternoon coffee or your evening soda, the two places many older adults reach for something they think is helping but is actually working against the numbers. 2 cups a day is what most of the research suggests. If you are already taking a water pill or a similar medication, please ask your own doctor first, because hibiscus can make that effect a little stronger and the balance in your body might shift in ways your doctor needs to follow. Number 3 on our list is cinnamon, the warm spice whose smell takes many older adults straight back to a grandmother kitchen and a small bowl of oatmeal on a chilly morning. Decades of cinnamon research has focused mostly on the way your body handles sugar after a meal, but there is a quiet family connection here that matters for your pressure too, and I want to walk through it slowly because it matters and it is easy to do. When your body responds better to a hormone called insulin, the molecule that carries sugar from your blood into your cells, your blood vessels often relax a little in response to that kinder environment, so your heart does not have to push as hard to keep the same flow going. Picture your artery walls as a creaky wooden front door that has been sticking for years. The wood has not changed. But if a calmer sugar response inside the body oils the hinges, the door swings a little more freely. Same body, same meal, but a calmer flow inside. Fewer sharp spikes on a stressful day. That is what cinnamon quietly does over weeks of small, steady use. Picture this. Imagine someone in their early 70s who loved a small cinnamon roll every morning with their coffee and did not want to give up that small daily joy. Their doctor understood that older adults need small joys to keep going. They agreed to try cinnamon for a full month and see what the home monitor showed. The person began sprinkling a 1/4 teaspoon of true Ceylon cinnamon on warm oatmeal every morning and cut back on the sugar they usually added. By the end of the 3rd week, the morning readings felt a little softer, and the afternoons felt less heavy in the chest. They still had their small joy. They also had a real win on the home monitor. The simple thing you can try today is this. If you can find them, look for Ceylon cinnamon or Saigon cinnamon at the grocery store. Take your morning coffee or tea, cut the sugar in half, and add a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon instead. You can do the same with apple slices, with plain yogurt, or with a small bowl of warm oatmeal on a cold morning. The taste is sweet without ever being sugar. Make this swap once a day, every single day for 3 weeks, and keep a small notebook log of your morning reading so you can see how your own body responds in real time with real numbers you can hold. If this video is starting to feel real and useful to you, will you do me one quiet favor right now? Please tap the like button under this video. That single tap tells the platform that older adults want this calm, gentle kind of health information and not the loud, dramatic kind that scares people for clicks. Many older adults search for honest answers about blood pressure every single week and never find videos like this one. Your tap helps their search land on my voice instead of on a stranger yelling at them. It is a small favor to someone you may never meet, and it matters more than you might think. Number 4 on our list today is celery seed. Not the long green stalks you chop into a salad for lunch each week. The tiny tan seeds you find in a small spice jar that has probably been sitting on your shelf for a year or two already. Older generations used celery seed in home cooking for many reasons long before modern research came along to study what was actually happening inside the body. Modern research has caught up with that older kitchen wisdom and has given us a clearer picture of why this humble seed works. Celery seed contains a natural plant compound that helps the muscle layer around your artery walls ease its grip, so blood flow stops being such a hard push through the day. Picture the muscle around your artery walls as hands that have been holding a tight fist for many months. The tighter that grip is held, the harder your heart has to push to move the blood through. Celery seed gently loosens the grip, one small day at a time, so your heart does not have to work as hard to keep you feeling like yourself. The change is small from week to week. The change is steady when you stay with it. And over several weeks, that steady change adds up to a lower number on the home monitor. Picture this. Imagine someone whose readings spiked every afternoon, especially on days that held too many appointments in a row and not enough rest between them. They were tired of seeing the numbers jump before dinner each evening. They started chewing a very small pinch of celery seed right after lunch, the way you might have a small mint after a meal. By the end of the 2nd week, those afternoon spikes were softer than before. The person felt calmer when they sat back down in their evening chair with their tea, and the home monitor matched the calmer feeling they were holding on to. The simple thing you can try today is this. Sprinkle a 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed onto your salad at lunch, into your evening soup, or onto a small tuna salad before you close the lid. The taste is warm, almost like earth with a whisper of salt that grows on you after a few tries. If you would rather skip the sprinkle, you can find celery seed capsules in a vitamin shop and follow the small label on the bottle for daily amounts. Either way, the rule is the same. A small, steady habit each day, every day, is what your body responds to best. One heroic dose once a month does very little. A pinch a day does a great deal. Here's the honest question I would love you to answer right now in the comments. On a simple scale of 1 to 10, where 1 means you feel calm about your blood pressure and 10 means you feel quietly worried through most days, where would you place yourself right now? Just a single number in the comments box will do. You do not have to explain it. I read each answer carefully, and you will see that you are not at all alone in how you feel. Many older adults carry this quietly for years, and saying the number out loud is the first small step toward less worry about it. Number 5 on our countdown is ginger. The warm root that has soothed an upset stomach in kitchens around the world for thousands of years, and that most older adults already trust on a cold morning. Ginger works on your blood in 2 important ways, both very gentle and both well studied. It encourages blood to slip through your vessels a little more freely by slowing the slow buildup of small amounts of plaque along the inner walls. And it helps calm the quiet swelling that many older adults carry inside their bodies, the kind doctors sometimes call chronic low-grade inflammation. Both effects add up to less pressure on the walls over weeks. Both effects add up to a steadier morning reading on a calm day. That quiet internal swelling can press on your vessels like a slow traffic jam on a long weekday afternoon. Ginger helps smooth the jam 1 car at a time until the flow returns to normal again. It is not a loud medicine. It is a quiet helper, the kind the seasons have always known. Few kitchen herbs feel this gentle on an older stomach, and most people tolerate it well in moderate amounts taken through the day. Picture this. Imagine someone in their late 70s whose readings ran a touch high and whose knees ached at the same time, the way many older adults carry both at once. They began sipping a small cup of fresh ginger tea every evening in place of their usual evening sweet. They sliced a small coin of root thin and steeped it in hot water for 10 minutes. Within a few weeks, both their home readings and their morning knee stiffness seemed to soften together. Their doctor was quietly pleased. The person felt a little more like the version of themselves from a few years earlier, and that kind of feeling matters more than any single number on the home monitor. The simple thing you can try today is this. Slice a small coin of fresh ginger root. Drop it into a cup of hot water and let it steep for 10 slow minutes. Add a small spoon of honey if you like the warmth. Sip it slowly 20 minutes before bed in place of an evening sweet or a nightcap glass of something stronger. If fresh ginger is hard to find at your local store, ginger tea bags from a regular grocery work just fine. Pick the kind that has no added sugars for the cleanest effect, and sip it as a small evening ritual rather than as a medicine. Let it settle into your evening as a quiet friend who has been waiting for you to call. If there is someone in your life, maybe a brother, a sister, an old friend from church, a neighbor down the hall from your apartment, who is dealing with high blood pressure and feeling stuck on pills that do not seem to be working well enough on their own, will you send this video to that one person today? Just 1 copy, with a short kind note from you saying you thought of them and that this one felt gentle and useful. That single share can be the gentle push they have been waiting for. Many older adults need a nudge from a trusted friend more than another article on their phone that gets closed in 3 seconds. Here's a quick honest word before we get to the last 2 herbs on our list. Everything I have shared today is general health information drawn from research on aging and from natural health traditions, not personal medical advice for you. Every body is different in how it responds. Herbs can interact with blood pressure pills, with diabetes pills, with heart medications, and with many other medicines you might already be taking. Please talk to your own doctor before you change what you take or how much you take, especially if you are already on medication or have a known heart, kidney, or liver condition. Your doctor knows your full story. A short note in your pocket or a quick phone call ahead of your next visit is a wise move. Number 6 on our list today is olive leaf. The same tree that drops small olives into the basket every autumn. The kind of tree many older adults remember seeing in their grandmother's yard from childhood. Olive leaf contains a natural plant compound called oleuropein. Researchers believe it helps the inner lining of your vessels stay calm and open through the day. And it may support a healthier response to stress inside your body, the kind of stress many of us carry without naming it out loud. Many older adults tolerate olive leaf well, especially those whose stomachs do not enjoy garlic or ginger in larger cookwise amounts. Picture olive leaf like a quiet gardener who carefully trims the rosebush each week without making a fuss. The bush still has thorns and small rough patches, but the careful daily work of light pruning keeps the newer growth softer, greener, and the gardener's hands more comfortable as the season turns. Olive leaf does a similar quiet work inside your vessels, day after day, week after week. without ever making a fuss. It does not pretend to be a miracle. It pretends to be a steady helper that is willing to show up for you. Picture this. Imagine someone in their mid-70s whose readings were stubborn even after 2 medications were carefully chosen by their doctor. Their doctor was patient and was not yet pushing to add a 3rd medication to the morning tray. The person brewed a small cup of olive leaf tea each evening for 6 weeks after a quick phone call to their doctor to be sure the choice was safe with their pills. At the next visit, the doctor noticed a small but steady drop in the top number on the home log they had been keeping. Nothing dramatic, just a real, soft, steady change in the right long-term direction. The simple thing you can try today is this. Look for dried olive leaf tea bags in a natural food aisle or the larger tea section of a regular grocery store. Brew 1 cup, let it sit for a few minutes so it cools down, and sip it slowly in the early evening while you sit in your favorite chair with a calm mind. Please do not start this herb if you take blood pressure pills without a quick check with your own doctor first, because the effects can quietly stack on top of your pills and the balance in your body might shift in a way you did not plan. Start with 1 cup a day and only add a 2nd cup later if your own doctor gives the nod. A short reminder here as we head to the last herb. If you want to be sure to see next week's video, the one I am finishing right now about the 5 small morning habits that quietly raise blood pressure without you realizing it, please subscribe and tap the notification bell at this very moment. That small bell makes sure my next video lands in front of you the moment it goes live, not buried somewhere quiet in the back of the channel where you would never find it. Next week's habits may surprise you, especially habit number 3, which almost every older adult in my comments section seems to be doing without realizing it. The bell makes sure the video lands where you can see it. Number 7 on our countdown today is parsley, the small curly green herb you sprinkle on your plate at lunch and toss aside without much thought. Parsley is more than a garnish. It has been quietly studied for its support of the kidneys, and the kidneys are the body's quiet pressure regulators that work all day and all night without complaint. Good kidney support leads to a steadier fluid balance. Steadier fluid balance leads to softer numbers on the home monitor over time. Parsley is rich in plant compounds that gently support the kidney's natural work, the way a small, steady rain supports a garden without flooding it. It also contains natural plant antioxidants that protect the small vessels inside your kidneys, the ones you never feel until they stop working well in older age. When kidney vessels stay healthier, fluid balance stays more even. When fluid balance stays more even, your heart does not have to push against the same flood every day. The change is small from week to week. The change is real when you stay with it. Picture this. Imagine someone whose doctor had been gently suggesting they pay more attention to fluid retention, especially around the ankles and the feet by the end of the day. They were not yet on a water pill, and they wanted to try one gentle kitchen habit first. They began adding half a cup of fresh parsley to a small afternoon juice, and they sprinkled a tablespoon of fresh chopped parsley onto their evening meals each night. Within a few weeks, the evening ankle swelling was softer, and the morning pressure readings were steadier too. The simple thing you can try today is this. Pick up a small bunch of fresh parsley at your grocery this week. Wash it carefully at home. Sprinkle a tablespoon of fresh chopped parsley onto your lunch and your dinner each day. If you like the clean taste, blend a small handful into a morning smoothie with fruit you already enjoy. Do this every day for several weeks. Watch your fluid response, watch your ankles, and watch the morning readings on the home monitor. The 3 signals will quietly start to line up in your favor if you stay with the habit. Here is the closing question I would love you to answer in the comments before we wrap up. In your own home, which of these 7 herbs feels easiest for you to begin with this very week? Garlic in your evening meal, hibiscus tea in the afternoon in place of coffee, cinnamon on your breakfast bowl, olive leaf in the evening chair, parsley at lunch and dinner. Pick your one starting herb and tell me why if you have a moment. Your answer may help the person reading your words tonight the same way other people's answers helped you when you first started watching videos like this one. Here's what I want you to take with you from today. First, pick one herb from this list. Just one single herb, and make it your daily habit for the next 3 weeks. Crushed garlic into your evening meal is a powerful place to begin, or 2 cups of hibiscus tea in place of your afternoon coffee is another powerful place to begin. Pick the herb that fits the shape of your own life, because the best herb in the world is the one you will actually use every single day. Second, write down your morning reading once a day in a small notebook or on a small calendar by your medicine shelf. 3 weeks is the window where most older adults begin to see a real shift that holds. Bring that notebook to your doctor at your next visit and let the quiet, real numbers on the page do the talking for you so you do not have to remember them out loud. Take one last second for me before we go. If even one of these 7 herbs felt like a real possibility for you and your health this month, please tap the like button under this video now. Your tap tells the platforms that older adults want this honest, calm kind of information, which simply means that more videos like this one will reach more older adults who genuinely need them later in the year. It is a quiet gift to the next person sitting down with a worried question this afternoon. If you have stayed with me all the way to this end, please take care of 3 small things for me before you close this page today. First, subscribe to this channel so the next video lands in your feed without effort on your part. Second, tap the notification bell so the next video reaches you the moment it goes live, instead of being lost in the quiet shuffle where so many good older adult videos disappear. Third, send this video to one specific person in your life who has been quietly worried about their blood pressure for far too long. Maybe a brother, maybe a sister, maybe an old friend from your church group or your walking club, maybe the neighbor 2 doors down from your apartment. Those 3 small actions take less than a minute, and they multiply the good this gentle video can do far beyond this screen, into kitchens and living rooms and front porches across the country. You are not stuck, and you are not forgotten. You have far more power over your own long-term health than any pill bottle has ever given you credit for, and the humble herbs already sitting in your kitchen tonight are quiet proof of that fact. Take good care of yourself this week. Drink your water, watch your salt, rest your heart between appointments, and stay close to the people you love most. I will see you right back here next time.